Right guys, today I'm on another viewer request, and this time it is for a copycat Branston Pickle. Now, I mentioned this on a previous video. I sort of trolled the internet looking for recipes, and some of them haven't even got the correct ingredients in. So what I did, I said to AI, I think it was Gemini AI, and I said, create me a copycat Branston Pickle recipe, but do not use any ones that are already out there on the internet. And it said, I understand this because a lot of them are blah, blah, blah. So it created one for me, telling me how many of this, how much of that, blah, blah, blah. I've written it all down, so I will be referring to my notes quite a lot, because this is totally, well, alien to me, this one. And I'm going to start this off in a very funny fashion, because I'm going to do the vegetables first. These need to be chopped small pieces and then salted for about 2 hours. So we're going to have carrots, onions, swede, cauliflower, massive cauliflower, and some salt. So let's get on with this. First up, I'm going to sharpen my knife a bit because I've got a bit to get through here. And I will be weighing this pretty accurate, as I just said. I would have preferred a larger cauliflower, to tell you the truth, but this is all they had in the supermarket, so this will have to do. And what I'm going to do initially is use as much of the core as possible. You can use the florets, but I want the little chunky bits, you know? So, let's start off with this bit here. That'll do. Let's see how it goes, eh? The idea is to keep all your veggies about the same size, but I think it doesn't really matter with the cauliflower, because if you use the florets, they're going to dissolve a little bit anyway. So I'm going to do these roughly, use as much of the stem as I can. Right, that's zeroed. So we want 100 grams of cauliflower. Oh, that's not too bad, let's get in there. See what I mean by using the stems, the hard bit. Because if you know Branston Pickle, it's made up of lots of little pieces, sort of that size. And that's what we're aiming for. I'm going for more of the sandwich type rather than the big chunky one, because I use it more in sandwiches than I do in salads, really. May as well make it to use, hadn't I? I reckon one more will do it, you know. That's 85, so one more big one. I'll do, and I'll save the rest of my stew tomorrow. Brilliant, that's 100. Right, so let's get them in there. I always put cauliflower in a stew about halfway through in the slow cooker, and it all breaks down and thickens the stew up naturally, you know, without using any sort of cornstarch or anything like that. Right, yeah. That'll do, 148. Oh, it's got a bit cloudy. Right, swede's always a bit awkward, so I wonder if I can do this thin to start off with. Two of them will do, I think. Bit of swede. 150 grams. Or if you're in America, rutabaga. Rutabaga is actually the proper name for it. Just that the us Brits call it swede because it came from Sweden. Wrong type of knife for doing this. Please don't criticise, it's what I've got at hand. 145, that's clever, isn't it? And the last but not least, a bit of onion. Onion's 100 as well. So nearly all of that. That'll be a bit less when I've skinned it and topped it and tailed it. Spot on. 101 grams. Couldn't have planned it better. Just got to get it all in there now. Yeah, fine. Yep, 100 grams. And in there we want, oh, what's it say here? 2 tablespoons of salt. I've not got a tablespoon, so I'll just guess it. That's quite a lot fine salt. Mix well, it says, but I haven't got any spoons out here at the moment. And leave covered for 2 hours. So I'll see you in 2 hours, guys. Tidy up, get the rest of the gear out. Okay, guys, while the veggies are dehydrating indoors, I'll go through the recipe a little bit. Now, there's 3 distinct portions to the recipe. There's the chopped vegetables, which you've seen, carrot, swede, cauliflower, onion, and they're dehydrating now. We got the spice part of it, and we got the sauce part. So for the spice, we got mustard powder, ground allspice, ground coriander, ground cloves, ground chilli, all ground really, isn't it? Onion granules, powder's better, but I've got granules and garlic powder. So that's the spice blend. And for the actual sauce base, we've got a Granny Smith. I got a small one, we don't need too much. Tomato puree, some dates, which I'm going to very, very finely chop and mince. Lemon juice, dark treacle, black treacle. You could use molasses, but I think treacle's better because it's a little bit sweeter. Speaking of sweet, we've got some light soft bound sugar and some distilled malt vinegar. So the only thing I'm going to do now while that's happening indoors is chop these dates up, because that could take a while. I could use the processor, but I think these are fairly finely chopped already. And I'll tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to sharpen my knife again because it's got a bit... That swede took it out of it. Oh, it always reminds me of Christmas, the smell of dates. I don't know why. Dates and figs. Not so much now, but from when I was a kid. I'm going to need 75 grams of these. So measure out 75 grams and chop them up. I was going to say it'd be half a packet, but it's not. Should get my bigger knife, really. And I'll tell you what, it's just started raining, so lucky we got those veggies done. I think this will do, you know. They're in small enough pieces. They're going to, I say melt, that's the wrong word. They're going to dissolve a little bit in the cooking anyway. Okay then, back in a bit. Well, that's been just over 2 hours, guys. We had a bit of a rain shower, so I had to hastily cover everything up. I want to show you the veg mix on my phone, just to show you how much water has been extracted. Now, I don't know if you're able to see this, but look at that. And all that is not going into the pickle. Brilliant. So what I need to do now, go inside, stick it in a colander, rinse it like mad, get all the salt off it, then I'll be back. Well, there we are, all rinsed and desaltified. I'll leave that one side for now just to dry a little bit more. I could pat it all dry with a tissue or a kitchen towel, but I'm not going to bother this time. I'd lose more of the little bits stuck to the cloth, you know what I mean? Okay, what I am going to do is get all the spices together in one little pot, save trying to chuck it in the big mix. So a bit of mustard. Mustard powder, that's 1 teaspoon of mustard powder. Now I'm doing this to make just 2 jars of Branston or Branston pickle. I don't want to make too much more because if it goes wrong I've made too much. You know? Okay, a teaspoon of onion powder, or in my case onion granules. Half a teaspoon of ground allspice. And once again, I'm moving things over as I use them. Half teaspoon of ground coriander. Half teaspoon of garlic powder. Need some more of that. Quarter teaspoon of ground cloves. Just use that. Be careful with cloves, it can be very overpowering. And a quarter teaspoon of chilli powder. I'm using this Cascabel chilli again. It's quite mild, but it's got a little bit of a chilli taste to it. Cayenne, I think, will be a little bit too warm for this. There we are. Okay, that's the spices done. We need 75 grams of grated apple. Now, I'm peeling it. I'm not coring it because there's no point in coring it because this is over 75 grams, if you know what I mean. It's a small apple, that's for sure. And like I've showed you a few times, if you use a box grater on its side, it saves a lot of mess. Just be careful not to go down to the core. Not that there's much of a core on these. Cooking apples don't usually have a lot, do they? Right, let's see what we got there. Not far off. Don't know who it was that showed me this tip, but thank you very much. Perfect. In fact, everything else can go in here now, just so you can see what I'm doing rather than put it into the pan. We need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm using store-bought for this one. So much easier. 150 grams of soft brown sugar. Should all fit in. Yep. 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. Looks more, but I've not filled the gaps in, look. I'm reckoning there's only treacle to go. Yep, just a treacle to put in here. And for this is what gives it its black colour, or its dark colour. Only a tablespoon, so I'm going to put that in. I'll make a little well for that actually, so I don't want that sticking to the sides. Like playing sandcastles. I'm going to put a little drop more in there because a lot stuck to the spoon. I'm not going to wash the spoon off. That should do it. Just the vinegar to go now. Let me just check. Let me just check everything, guys. 2 seconds. Carrots, sweet onion, cauliflower, salt. Done all that. Dates, apple, sugar, treacle, tomato puree, vinegar, lemon juice. Mustard, allspice, coriander, cloves, da 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 da. One more ingredient to go towards the end. I'll go and get that in a second. Okay, typical. The sun's come out. Right, here we go then. We need 300 ml of malt vinegar. Whenever you pour something like that, don't pour it like that. You pour it over the top a little bit so it doesn't glug. I'm trying to show you. There we go. $200. Let's see what the 100 line is. There it is. It's the same with doing oil in your car. Always do it like this. If you do it like... This is going to go wrong now, isn't it? If you do it like that, it goes glug, 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 and it spits everywhere. And what we do now, guys, is basically simmer the sauce mix and the spices. And they go away for cleaning. I'll go and get the other ingredient while that's cooking a bit. Okay, here's the last ingredient, corn flour and a drop of water. And the corn flour slurry formula is 2 parts of water, 1 part of corn flour. So 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. A quick look in there before it starts simmering too much. It's already got that classic Branston Pickle colour, hasn't it? Right, we need to get this to a boil. Being careful not to stir it and splash it onto my t-shirt. I can't believe that sun's come out. It's been overcast and dull, drizzly and rainy all day, and now at the crux, the blooming sun comes out and makes my head like you can see it from outer space, you know? Oh dear. Somebody, I think it was Ali actually, suggested buying a garden shade. But the trouble is, I'd have to move it a lot, and there's a lot of gear there, and there's a greenhouse there. And it would, because of the greenhouse just there, which is only 5 foot from me, it would have to be dead tall, you know? I don't know how it's going to work, and they cost a fortune. I'm conscious that the induction hob picks up quite loud. Nice me tapping it. I'm conscious that the induction hob picks up quite loudly on these wireless mics. So I'm gonna try and keep away from it a bit. Okay, that's just boiled. I'll turn it down to a simmer and we're gonna simmer it now for about 15 minutes until the apples and dates have dissolved or disappeared, if you like. The sugar's long dissolved by now. So back in 15. Okay, I know you like the close-ups, so here we go. Gonna stir it quite often as well so it doesn't catch on the bottom. Okay guys, so I'm gonna leave it at that. There's a little bit of apple left, but it's getting a bit thick and I'm really conscious of burning the bottom. Time to get the vegetables in. And in they go. Quick stir to get everything coated. Okay, there we are. Now, I'm going to bring that to the simmer and cook it for exactly 10 minutes. Any longer, things will start going a bit too soft. Any shorter, they'll be a bit too crunchy. So, 10 minutes starting now. Okay guys, there we are. 9 minutes, 45 seconds. So I'm going to turn it off now and put in the cornflour slurry. When I say turn it off, I meant turn it down a bit. And that smells absolutely fantastic. That has thickened up already. Now I'm going to do something a little bit unusual here because you shouldn't really taste pickles until they've matured. Here's one for you then. Why is it called pickle, not chutney? Anyway, I'm going to have a quick taste of this just to see if it needs anything. Just the sauce. Tell you what, that is pretty close. I'm liking that. And it will mature. So that'll do then. That's the 10 minutes. Okay, might as well recycle the recipe sheets. Stop the tablecloth getting splashed as we spoon it up. Now, 2 jars, hopefully. Oh, I don't know, maybe more than 2 jars, you know. No, it's going to be 2. If I get maybe more if I can get most of it in. Right. I don't want to get this on myself because it's so blooming hot. So excuse my blocking you out a minute. I'll tell you what, guys, this is a bit of a revelation for me because I asked Gemini AI, I don't know why I used Gemini, but I did. Thanks for the recipe. How much will it make? And it said it will make just about 2 1-pound jars. And there we are. Bit much in that one, bit little. That's my fault, that is, isn't it? So, usual routine, wipe the rim. If you don't wipe the rim and you've got sticky pickle on it, it sticks to the seal, and it does make it so much more awkward to open it when you come to open it, because this has been jarred hot, so the lids will pull down, which is what you want. That's that reassuring when you open something. Oh, yeah. Right, clear the decks. And I've named this Plotston Pickle. The carrots came from Susie and Dave's plot. The onion came from my plot. And the cauliflower and swede come from the Tesco plot. But anyway, whatever. Here they are, guys. 2 jars of Plotston Pickle. I'll let you know what they taste like in, I reckon, 3 weeks. What I might do is a grand opening of all the preserves I've made this season. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Anyway, if you've got any ideas, give me a shout. I love making new things. I'm queuing one up at the moment from Anita. She's told me she's found this fantastic moussaka recipe. Looking forward to that. So get it in, Anita. I'm waiting for it. Look after yourselves, guys. Take care. And I'll catch you on the next recipe.